Hi, I'm Captain Steve Chaconis. We all know that chatterbaits, the original Z-Man chatterbait, is an awesome bait. We've used them for a long time, very successful. All the tournament pros are using them, weekend anglers are using them. But Z-Man has come out with a new one. It's about a year old now, but I really do like it. It's called the Mini Max. Here's the size comparison. You see the blade is so much smaller than a regular chatterbait. It's a more compact package. And this color, this crawfish, this red orange, I try to copy a lot of or make my own skirts. This one right out of the package. This is one of those baits that right out of the package is going to work for you. We're going to try it out today. We're going to have a mix of sun, mix of clouds, water, 60 to 65 degrees. But we'll see how the new Mini Max from Z-Man works out here on one of my favorite little lakes. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. When you got the sun and calm water, you can keep throwing it, but you might want to switch to something else, even though it might catch them under those adverse conditions. When you finally get what we have now, a little bit of color to the water, a few clouds, and a nice breeze to chop up that surface of the water. I've got the power poles down. I'm kind of working a little grassy area, seeing what's going on with it. Real thick grass. This grass comes up almost to the surface, and this Mini Max Z-Man chatterbait, boy, I tell you what, if you don't have any, get some, and I'd get a bunch of colors, but start with this crawfish, this red. I'll find out exactly what they call it, and I'll flash it up there, but it's definitely a winner. I would imagine that if you're trying to tie a red skirt for the springtime fishing, you probably just want to buy a bunch from Z-Man, because they've got the color pattern down perfectly. It's got the right balance of orange, red, and black in it. Everyone always says, well, how can you see so well? Yeah, I have great vision. There's no question about that. You know, I was gifted with that. But I've been wearing Maui Jims for like 25 years. Maui Jim sunglasses, best polarized sunglasses you can get. And polarization does a couple things. One, it allows you to see underwater, but it protects your eyes from glare. And glare is what robs you of your vision, not only of the moment, but in the long term. So I've had Maui Jims. I don't ever hit the water unless I have Maui Jims. Also use sunscreen, long sleeves, long pants, try to cover up. Have a little morning ritual, rub my ears down with it, have a buff on, that kind of blocks it from my neck and underneath my chin. So sun protection is really important, but it starts with the Maui Jims, because that's another tool to help me catch more fish too, because I can see stuff that other guys can't see. I mean, I can almost see my bait all the way back to the boat, even in this stained water. I've seen a lot of fish come and grab this thing. Helps with the casting too, to be able to have better vision, because you want to pick specific targets. I'm not just firing this thing out there and hoping that it lands somewhere. I'm picking specific targets. And every time I cast, I pick a smaller and smaller target. I try to get better at casting every single time. And I've been casting, oh my Lord, I've been casting for 60 years, more than half a century. Largemouth bass. There we go. I was shooting video on this new bait. Seems like it's working pretty good. Just had another one. Yeah, that's a decent fish. We like catching those. I use a lot of different colors, but this time of year I like this red color that Z-Man makes. It's just, yeah, I make a lot of my own skirts. This is the only one that I haven't tried to change. It's just right out of the box. It's good, and it stays on really good. I have a little bit of a trailer on there. You could use anything you want. You could use a black trailer if you want. I like this little red trailer from Mann's. It's one you can't really find anymore. It's a little mullet, but it works pretty good. Blends in pretty good with this. It's about a 3-inch trailer. The regular size Z-Man chatterbait comes through grass and wood pretty good, but this guy, the Mini Max, it was like born for grass fishing. It just loves coming across that grass. Slides right through it, right in that top of that zone where those fish are looking up. I can get right to the tops of that grass, and it just comes right through it. And I like using this 12-pound test or 10-pound test Gamma Edge fluorocarbon because it doesn't have any stretch to it. I can really get a good hook into it. I can feel what this bait's doing. I mean, of course, who can't feel a chatterbait, but I can feel it when it catches up with some grass, and I can snap it out of that grass very easily. I'm keeping the rod tip up to slide this bait over the grass a little bit easier, and as it gets closer, I'm lowering the rod tip so that the bait stays low into that grass. Once I feel that grass, I kind of lift it up just a little bit. Keep the bait going over the top of the grass. I'm also looking for bare spots in the grass because a lot of times those fish will be like right in those bare spots, and as it comes from a thick clump of grass to a bare spot, that's when they'll be able to see it better, and of course that's when they'll hit it. And I like a faster reel too, because especially when I have the rod tip up like this and a fish picks it up and changes direction, you want to be able to catch up to them real fast to get that hook into them. Another good thing about the power poles is that they keep me in a spot for a while, so I can really work it over without churning up the grass with my trolling motor. Nice thing too is this is the kind of thing that anybody can do. You know, I get asked a lot, hey, I want to take my girlfriend, or I want to take my boyfriend, or I want to take my kids, I want to take some. So the easiest thing to do is to put them on baits that they can feel and that work. So this is a bait, while they're winding it in, they can feel it. Sometimes crankbaits, they can't feel really good, and they certainly can't feel soft plastics real well. But this one, they can feel. It's easy to cast. Get it out there and just tell them to wind it in. And then occasionally you can say, all right, just add a little pop to it. Feel like it's not vibrating, give it a little bit of a pop. Those are all little things that'll make these baits much more effective. We've got slightly stained water, we've got grass, we've got cloudy skies, and we've got a wind blowing on here. It's a little bit of a chop. So those are great conditions for throwing a moving lure. This little micro or mini chatterbait is awesome under these conditions because it comes through the grass so well. It'll get down, you get down to water like 3-4 feet deep. I mean, it's amazing if you're out fishing and nothing's happening, and all of a sudden that wind picks up. Pick up a moving lure. Just stop whatever it is that's been working for you. Switch over to a moving lure because you'll get some of the bigger fish of the day that'll finally get active. And there we go. Yeah, that's a good fish. Come on, fishy. There we go. Not a giant. We'll take him. Oh, he's got a mouthful of grass. We'll let him go. I think we found a spot here because what I'm seeing is grass and then an open area behind the grass. He ate it right as this bait approached the grass. My 2D sonar is getting ready to start showing it, and live scope's already picked it up. So I use them both together for that. You know, a lot of guys think, oh, live scope, it's just going to help you video game your fish, but I want to know where the grass is. I can't really see it with the naked eye, but I could definitely see it with live scope and tell just about how far away it is. And of course, you could feel the grass too. You know, once you start to throw into it, you can feel it. Okay, I see a couple of bare spots. Must be some bear living there, because they're bare spots, right? If I throw to a bare spot, I go past the bare spot. Now I'm at one edge. I'm at another edge. Now I'm over another patch of grass, and now I'm getting ready to come to another bare spot. Those are all strike zones. Anywhere where there's an open spot in the grass, there's usually a chance that that's a strike zone. So again, I'm trying to maximize the effectiveness of every cast. There's the wind. I mean, it's like you get that wind, you go like, oh, right. Might sound loud in the microphone, but it's what you want. And again, I'm just throwing over there to an open area with a dark spot in front of it. They choke it down pretty good. No fuss, no muss. Goodbye, fishy. It just activates them. Like, so I'm throwing to a bare spot and coming over a dark spot. And I think that dark spot might be grass, but it's an area where a bass could be in a dark room looking into a lighted room. They like to do that. So you're in a dark room, like you're in your house, and you've got all your lights off, but you're looking outside across the neighbor's house, and they've got lights on. You can see everything that's going on in their house. They can't see you because you're in a dark room. Well, the bass like to be in a dark room too. They like to be in a dark room looking into a lighted room. So anytime you have a dark bottom, an area that's got maybe some growth or maybe some decayed material on, and then the adjacent area to it is going to have clear water, so you could throw in that area, and they're going to be there. It's just like cover. Muddy water, if there's a band of muddy water, they'll be in that. Looking into the clear water, they'll use that muddy water as cover. And also the other thing too about these areas that don't have grass in them, there's a reason. Usually it's something about the substrate, the bottom composition. It might not support grass, but it might be a good spot for beds. It might be too sandy and not enough silt for the grass, but it's perfect for the bass to find a hole in this grass. And I always looked for that. We used to try to create holes in the grass with our outboards. We would just drive around, back and forth, a tight little circle, back up, chop it down. And then we'd put pallets out in the middle of grass beds. Sink a pallet, and it would, give you a pallet about 4x4, little square, and the bass would spawn on those things. And these things do cast pretty well on a bait caster. So you don't have to worry about having to use a spinning rod. I prefer a bait caster because of the speed of retrieve. Spinning reels are a lot slower than bait casters. And you can get a very fast bait caster, and even your fastest spinning reel is not going to be near that fast. So what I'll do, if I get grass on my bait, which this bait doesn't catch the grass, I don't smack them in the water. I don't do that. What I do is I do this, where I just catch the end right on the water, just barely on the water. I don't like smack it down. All that does is tears your skirts up. It takes the trailer off of there. And crankbaits, it'll break your lip off of them. So it's just something I don't do. And a lot of times if I see there's grass on it, I just wind it up, and in one good motion I grab the end of the grass, pull the bait back, and the grass comes off. Oh my. I guess even the little guys like this thing, huh? Let's see if there's any. This is probably last year's spawn. Look at that. Pretty aggressive little fish. That's why they're so much fun to catch. Wow, what a day. I tell you what, I really like this bait, the Mini Max. I mean, it's I'm never disappointed with anything that Chatterbait has. But again, look at the difference of the blade size. That's the thing. I mean, it's still, even with the small blade size, it puts out a lot of vibration. I like this one. It comes with a black blade. The orange and black and red, I mean, skirt is perfect in the springtime when the water's a little bit stained. As we saw today, when we had chop, it worked a little bit better. A few clouds worked even better. But get some Mini Max, get several colors, because this thing, if you fish grass, you gotta have one. Hey, if you like my YouTube channel, tell your friends about it, like it, subscribe to it, do all that stuff. If you have a suggestion for a video, if you like what you see, just give me a holler at nationalbass@aol.com. I'm Captain Steve Chaconas. Thanks for watching.